12 clients around a clock edge can stack 2 full limits onto post/reset. A sliding window is a limiter that counts the request that left during a duration that moves with the request. The window is a duration. 1 second is a window. 10 seconds is a window. We count the requests that left during that duration, and we compare the count to a limit. The limit is a count over that duration, not a pile of tokens. Each request that leaves writes a timestamp. The count is how many timestamps still fall inside the window. A request may leave when that count is below the limit. A request is refused when the count is already at the limit. A timestamp that is aged out of the window no longer counts. A fixed window is a single counter and a wall clock bin. A bin is a wall clock slice, such as the second that starts at a whole second. The counter resets at the bin edge. The last instant of one bin and the first instant of the next bin can each take a full limit. 2 windows stack a burst. On post/reset, that stacked burst is 10 writes aimed at 4 workers. That stacked burst is the seam. 10 requests can leave around the edge even when the limit is 5 per second. 5 plus 5 equals 10, and 4 workers cannot take 10 writes. On post/reset, 12 clients that arrive around that edge can land 10 writes on 4 workers. The downstream sees a double hit. A single counter cannot see across the edge. A sliding window moves with the request. When a request arrives, we look back 1 window from now, not from a bin edge. The count is only the timestamps inside that moving duration. Look back from now kills the seam, because the edge of a wall clock bin is no longer a reset. The seam has nowhere to sit. Every arrival brings its own look back, so 2 bins cannot each grant a full limit. Timestamps remember each departure, and we stamp them with time. Monotonic, so a clock step cannot invent a quieter window. A single counter only remembers a total for the current bin. The sliding window stores the times, or it stores 2 bins and lets the old one fade as now moves away from that slice. That fading pair approximates the same look back without keeping every timestamp. The old bin fades because less of it still sits inside the look back from now. The cost is memory, and the gain is that 2 windows cannot stack. When the count is at the limit, we answer 429. 429 means too many requests, and the limiter refused this one. The reason is rate limited. Rate limiting here is a count, not a token. 429 is the limiter, and the pool behind it is still Semaphore 4. We do not take a worker for a request that is over the window, and Semaphore 4 still sits behind this count. The window is a duration. We count the requests that left during that duration. A fixed window has a seam where 2 bins stack a burst. A sliding window moves with the request, so the seam cannot form. The seam is why we slide. Thank you.